Boys, Bruce Wayne meets Clark Kent. I love it. I love bringing people together. How are we?
Lex?
Hi, hello, Lex. It is a pleasure. Ow, wow, that is a good grip. You should not pick a fight with this person. Do you know the oldest lie in America, Senator? Devils don't come from hell beneath us. They come from the sky. The greatest gladiator match in the history of the world. Son of Krypton versus Bat of Gotham.
You're psychotic.
That is a 3-syllable word for any thought too big for little mind. If man won't kill God, the devil will do it.
Good afternoon, everybody. So, welcome to another podcast of C&E. So, we have a full group here this afternoon, and we actually have a new member, which I will introduce to you momentarily. Let's go around the room. I'm David Caduto.
I'm Skylar Barty.
I'm Aaron Lanuza.
And let's welcome our newest member,
Shelby Stewart.
Like I said, welcome everybody back. And so we are now in week 3 of our month-long breakdown of the upcoming movie Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
God,
so I know it's 3 weeks already we've been talking about this.
Around for too long. They need that movie to come out tomorrow.
I know. Well, it'll be coming out in about 9 days, so not too much longer. So the first week we talked about Batman, and the second week we talked about, last week we talked about the Man of Steel. This week it's Skylar puts his thumbs down emphatically, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
For anyone who heard last week's podcast.
Exactly. By the way, if you want to listen to all of our podcasts, you can go to www.facebook.com/CNE or check out SoundCloud if you have that app, and you can search under my name, David, D-A-V-I-D, Caduto, C-A-D-U-T-O. And it will bring up all of the C&E podcasts that we have done from the very beginning. So, this week we are going to be talking all about the villains and who is Batman and Superman going to be fighting throughout this movie. So,
besides each other, of course.
Besides each other. I mean, that's the obvious one. We know that. But we want to find out exactly who else they will be fighting. So, who does everybody believe? So let's just put it out there right now. We know we have Lex Luthor. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if we're getting Lex Luthor as a
full Lex Luthor.
Well, I don't think we're getting the power suit Lex Luthor that we've been getting in recent years in the comic books. I think we're just getting him as the guy kind of manipulating the plot. You know, he's the puppet master.
And that's the perfect word to put.
Which is what he has. He has the brains.
Yeah.
That's what he's known for.
And throughout the very first trailer, we saw, which I think was a major spoiler that I think we were all disappointed about, Doomsday.
Don't say it.
At least I know I was. So
here's what I'm gonna say. It might not be Doomsday.
Well, that might.
We'll get into that.
So
we'll find,
exactly.
Yeah.
Let's
find out.
What did everybody think of the first trailer when they saw that? Because that was the one that was about 3 minutes, and that was the one that.
The first full trailer.
Right, the first full
trailer. I thought
trailer.
it ran a little bit long. I think that's for sure. If they could have ended it after the little incident between Batman versus Superman, but then Doomsday or whoever we think it is came in, and then all of a sudden we thought, oh man, there's another character involved. But then not only did they end with Doomsday, I think Superwoman, or was that the trailer too?
I think that's in a different trailer, but that was a little bit much. Is she with you? No, I thought she was with you. I mean that's you know.
If they wanted to end somewhere, I guess they're trying to really promote right now. But I mean, it would be nice if they just had the one battle right now, just to set us up and prepare for the movie.
Well, since Shelby hasn't actually been with us for that long, what did you think about the trailer?
So, I have something to say about these, I guess, superhero type movie trailers in general.
Yeah.
I feel like they're starting to give way too much away in these trailers.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Like, last week we see Civil War and we see Spider-Man. Like, that almost would have been even better had I just been sitting there watching the movie and he popped up. Like,
granted, one of the things that we as fans have been complaining about is that we've been waiting to see him show up. We got 3 seconds of Spider-Man, so we didn't get to see him in anything. So there's still either a lot of content for him to be revealed in, or just a little bit.
Yeah.
So we're just is he going to be in this movie? Is he going to be in the credit scene? But now we see he's in the fight.
Yes.
So that it was needed.
Yes.
What I want to know is because or Spider-Man is this one character who's really young, right? He's about 17.
Yeah.
Or he's
in this, he's going to be the high school Peter Parker in this version.
That's what I thought. So, I mean, like, there's a lot of dispute about the eyes just moving.
And
whether or not there could be a mask.
You're right.
Well, like Deadpool.
I mean,
it's the same thing with Deadpool.
Yes, it is. But then the difference would be that Deadpool is just that kind of character. Doesn't really have to necessarily make sense.
We've had 3 or 4 different. In this, I was reading about this. We've had 3 or 4 different Spider-Man costumes since the inception of the Tobey Maguire ones back in the early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
we had the original.
We had the Tobey Maguire. I'm not counting the 1980s version. That was horrible.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
No. Although those were fun to watch as a kid, it's just
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I don't either.
Google that if you
don't
need to.
save yourself the trouble.
Listen to the theme song
But
and call it.
there you go.
Yes.
But so we've had the Tobey Maguire version. Then we've had the Andrew Garfield version.
Well, we had the black suit.
Right, we've had
Tobey Maguire.
Right, and
Yeah.
then we had Andrew Garfield, and now this will be the 4th one. Now this is I was reading that Marvel got back a lot to basics with the very small insignia. Whereas the Andrew Garfield basically covered the whole front and the whole back. This is very small. It's very petite, but it gets the point across. It's like a combination of a man and a spider type of thing. And I actually like the outfit. Now, as far as the eyes moving, I thought that was kind of cool.
I think so
don't know
too.
about
It shows
everybody
No,
emotion,
it's the closest to the original comics that we've gotten out of Spider-Man in a while. It looks really good. And it's nice that they're doing the CG that they used in Deadpool on this, which is it's kind of funny to me because Deadpool and Spider-Man are kind of like a dynamic duo in the comics.
Yes.
Peter Parker hating Wade Wilson and Wade Wilson thinking he's his best friend.
Yeah. But see, in all honesty though, getting back to your point about the Spider-Man costumes, we have the same thing with the Batman outfits. With the Batman costumes.
You mean over the decades?
You can, from the very first one in 1989 with Michael Keaton. Then you've got the Val Kilmer one in '93. Then you've got the George Clooney with the nipples, which is horrible. God forgive the costume designer who made that.
Hey, it was the movie with Mr. Freeze. They just needed to showcase that.
And then finally we have this one, which is actually a decent version. So I don't know.
I actually really like the Batman costume this time around.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know how I feel about the
I'm not sure about the armor though.
Voice
Yeah,
change?
what
the auto-tune, I guess?
Well, no, that's when he's in the mechanical suit. I need to hear him outside the mechanical.
And I feel like they're only just playing him in that mechanical suit, and I'm like, what is up with his voice?
You're just saying about giving stuff away in the trailers.
Yeah.
Maybe that, hearing him as Batman outside of that suit will be a good thing for fans.
Well, what about that one scene where Batman and Superman were fighting, and Batman is like, "Well, do you bleed?" That was his. Was that his mechanical?
That was in his suit, but I mean, we've also
in the very first trailer. In the second one, it's not. But it's still, I think they still had the mechanicalized voice from the first trailer on it.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, we've also heard Batman or Bruce Wayne talk to Alfred before. So I mean, it's kind of, it's two totally different. I mean, it's almost like he's got a smoker's voice, you know.
Yeah.
So it's
oh my gosh.
very hoarse. And
nothing
very
will ever be as iconic as the Kevin Conroy.
No.
You know.
No. And speaking of, that's actually a great segue. They're actually, if you look on the C&E page, they're actually doing full length Killing Joke animated
movie. They just
movie,
released the first picture on Monday.
Yeah.
It looks very much like the art style that the Killing Joke did with the Joker, which was it's not the Joker that we remember from the comics. It's a little bit crazier in terms of the hairstyle and just the visual costume.
Yeah.
It's a much more over the top look, but it looks very pristine. So.
Yeah. Well, getting back to your point about the trailers, and that is the big difference between you have Marvel, who knows exactly what they're doing. They can introduce a new character with Spider-Man in the last 5 seconds and drive everybody nuts.
Because they
and
can.
Then,
with having Doomsday or
Darkseid.
Darkseid.
DC, who just basically blows the whole movie out in 3 minutes, and it's like, come on, why am I going to go spend my money now?
Well,
you know.
Yeah.
Well, so that's the thing. So we're still speculating. I just said it. it could be Doomsday or it could be Darkseid. And if it's Darkseid, that means this movie, like, that this is not going to be the villain for Batman vs. Superman. He's going to be, like, a last 10-minute thing that gets away. Okay. And that he'll be, like, if it's Darkseid, it's definitely the villain of
So
Justice
let me ask you, everybody's seen the trailer in which they're in the desert environment, and they have these things flying around. What is that? Okay, what is that for the comic book person? What are those that...
Well,
okay, so
what I think it is were they were mystical?
Yeah,
weird
and Batman was trying to fight his way out.
My guess is that they're most likely dealing with Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Wonder Woman with Ares, right?
So all of Wonder Woman's lore comes from Greek mythology. Mm-hmm. She is Diana of Themyscira, which is like a Amazonian island,
right?
And she is the chosen warrior of Athena. Okay. So there's a lot of Greek, like she didn't used to be that way. She used to be just like Superman was. I'm a true American, and then they changed her to be a Amazonian warrior of.
Which doesn't make sense to me. She's completely she doesn't look like she came from the Amazon at all.
Well, the costume. There's actually two costumes. There's one of her warrior that they've now implemented, which is from the island, and then there's her when she's being a Wonder Woman, which is the more traditional one that we.
Well, and that's the thing too. If you've seen the trailer for Wonder Woman, that you know that she's very. Yes, you see her riding in horses and everything else, but it's very
just her
not
persona.
Majestic for lack of, but very prestigious, and
the way the skirt is very Roman.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool.
It's So I mean, the costume. I'll be very curious to see how much of a part she has to play in this.
I think she's got to play a big part. I think.
Yeah, I think she's a bigger role in the movie than any of the other Justice League, but I do think that she is still. I think she is definitely a tertiary character. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think that
absolutely. I think she's going to play the moral, because she has that whip.
Well, I think she's going to be the thing that stops them from fighting.
Oh, I see. That's why she came in, right?
Yeah, because they kind of show we're getting her origin story in this movie. Well, we're not getting Batman's, we're not getting Superman's, and they still want to do an origin story. So
well, we've already got Superman's. I mean, let's face it.
This makes more sense now, and that it wouldn't just be Batman versus Superman, because they would have to have. They would have to introduce Wonder Woman. Otherwise, they would just.
Well, she's in some of the early trailers, like when they're having the party that Lex throws to get Batman and Superman to meet each other.
Yeah,
she's there.
Yeah.
So either she's Athena told her, "Yo, you gotta stop this crap from happening," and that's why she's in the movie, or she was there because she knows that this might happen. So either way.
Did that reminded me actually that that scene actually reminded me of. Just watching it the other day, The Dark Knight Rises, with, Christian Bale and Anne Hathaway when they're at that party.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So it was kind of like the same, and no one is an executive producer on this, so you got to wonder if that wasn't part of let's take some of the things that worked and implement them exactly that worked, and then implement them in this to see what they can do. I don't know. I mean, I think it's going to be. I'm going to go see it the 24th, so it's going to be, the lines are going to be crazy. I know that much for sure.
I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, we all know Skylar's position.
I'm hoping my sister gets me in, and otherwise I lost my credit card. I couldn't buy my ticket. I couldn't. On time.
Well, at least Fandango didn't break again.
Well, okay. It's
hopefully they have it together.
Against your prediction, this is not the new Star Wars.
Well, and I said that all along. I think that it's. Well, it has been reported.
I've been hearing reviews of that.
But here's the thing, though. This broke pre-sales, and I hate pre-sales, by the way, but I'll say it anyways. This broke all of the pre-sale records more than Deadpool, more than Star Wars, more than Fast and Furious 7.
Fast and Furious 7 wouldn't, as big as Fast and Furious is, you can't compare them to,
True, but at the same time, Deadpool?
Well, no, Deadpool was going to make pre-sales. Because the problem with, so this movie being Star Wars in pre-sales is one thing, but, it's going to be interesting to see if it'll be opening weekend Star Wars, because the advanced reviews that we're going to get from Rotten Tomatoes, Metacritic, all that stuff, is really going to dictate it's Saturday and Sunday.
Absolutely. Well, I think also in writing, too. I think
that's what I'm saying. The reviews are going to dictate, where Star Wars, the reviews I don't think mattered as much. Yeah. because
everyone came in with a predisposition.
Yeah, like everyone thought this movie is going to might suck, and that's still fine because it's Star Wars. Even at its worst, it's better than a lot of movies.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. And so like the mindset of people going to Star Wars is a lot different than the people going to this one, especially since there's still people who did not like Man of Steel.
Yeah.
You know, who thought it was a bad movie, and I can't blame them because it was a really weird movie. Yeah. You know, he's just, you know, Zack Snyder does these movies that are very visually cool.
Yeah.
But they make no sense.
Generic. I thought it was way too generic. You would see. I think you saw like. I think I wanted to see something more about Superman that we really weren't expecting. You
need to challenge him in a way, and it didn't show Superman. It just saw a man with Superman powers. Yeah, that's the problem.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's so true.
That's a perfect way to put it.
So,
I think too, this, like you said, if this story really isn't there, I don't think it's gonna be.
And DC's gonna have to rethink their whole strategy because, like, right now DC comic books is stronger than Marvel comics. Like, it's just a plain fact because Marvel is kind of like throwing a bunch of darts at a board trying to figure out what storylines are good, and DC is like, we're making money. You know, people are buying our comic books. We've been doing good since Blackest Night.
I guess that's why their trailers just are giving away too much information.
But like the DCCU is just terrible.
Yeah.
You know,
and I think once I just don't know how they're going to.
It's their penchant to want to stay dark.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. Like, you have Superman, who's not a dark character, but you put him in dark shades in Man of Steel.
Yes.
Why? That doesn't make sense. You have Batman, who's literally the only dark superhero in DC, and you're trying to emulate that too much. You know, Wonder Woman's very vibrant. Green Lantern, Flash, they're all these bright, colored characters.
I think you need the juxtaposition of both the light and the dark.
Because that's how the Justice League is formed.
And I think for the movie...
No.
Batman is in the Justice League.
No, that's fair, but he's the only one who uses darkness. He's the only one. And Jean Martian Manhunter, kind of, and that's only because he doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
So, like...
I think, too, they're trying to, you know, Batman, the past 3 Batman movies were wildly successful.
Yes.
So they're trying to, I feel like they're trying to emulate that with Superman, with all these other movies, and then we take Marvel, where bright colors, everything's, I mean, for the most part, is bright, these huge explosions, and, like, CGI, like, you would not believe, and, like...
See, like, I actually have to argue a little bit against that, because I think what makes Marvel successful is they're not making superhero movies.
Yes.
So, like...
They're making stories.
No. They're making movies that have superheroes in them. So, like... Right. Ant-Man wasn't a superhero movie, it was a heist movie that used a superhero.
That's a perfect example.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking, like, colors-wise.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think instead of, like, trying to do what they are successful, I think they just need more time to figure out what they're doing.
Well, see, and I think that the other thing, too, is this is their first one.
Yeah.
This is their very first one. I mean, you know, Iron Man was, you know, arguably Marvel's first one, but it was a bright...
Also arguably the best superhero movie still today.
And the fact is, it was a bright suit. Tony Stark was larger than life. Yes. And I really, in all honesty, if Robert Downey Jr. hadn't played the role as well as he did, who knows where it would have gone or how it would have done.
He is Iron Man.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So, you know, that being said, let's see where this goes. I think it's going to be... as far as critics are concerned, I think it's going to do average.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I think it's not going to be horrible.
I think the people that are DC fans are like, who are going to give it ratings are going to give it higher ratings than those who aren't.
Right.
And I think like the true movie critics are going to give it like 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, which still
average.
It's average in the grand scheme of things. It's not horrible, but it's not like, oh my god, this is amazing.
That it's a flop.
Because let's face it, you're not going there to see Harry Cavill and Ben Affleck act.
No.
You know,
I'm going to see Ben Affleck act.
I'm going to see that too. That's one of the reasons why I want to go.
You know, actually, I'm actually definitely because like look, they actually have a really good act. Like Henry Cavill is a very good actor. Mm-hmm. You know, Ben Affleck is also very good.
Just like Superman. Huh? Like if you had to like close your eyes and picture somebody who looks like Superman,
Yeah,
I would picture him.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Like Ben Affleck, Jeremy Irons is an amazing actor.
Yeah.
Gal Gadot is an amazing actress.
I'll
all of
be
them are
curious
great
to see
actors.
how
and
I'm
actresses.
not so sure about what's his name, Lex Luthor. Who is that?
Oh,
Jesse Eisenberg is
Jesse
a great
Eisen-
actor.
I think he's a great actor, but I'm interested to see how he plays this part.
Well, see,
Yes.
don't
Because
forget,
the
but see,
trailers,
he
I'm
has,
like,
he
I'm
has-
not sold yet.
see, and
I agree with you in the scene where you see him talking to both Batman and Superman
Yes.
while they're like at this dinner.
Yeah.
no,
He
I
just
mean,
seemed too human, and I
Well,
kinda wanted to see
But see,
something
that's
different.
what I actually like from the trailers. I think he's actually the best part so far.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why is because Lex Luthor is a guy who's larger than life. Like that's what he puts himself as. He's supposed to be this guy who's over the top in everything. He's grand in every sense of the word. And the reason why he's Superman's arch nemesis isn't because he wants Superman dead. It's not because like he wants to take over the
He
world.
wants to
He
It's
wants
outsmart him.
power.
no, it's that
no.
he believes that Superman's unchecked power is too dangerous.
Wow, so he's really not immoral.
No. He has worked with Superman on many occasions. He literally just believes that Superman is the ultimate potential downfall of humanity, and that eventually Superman will snap and destroy Earth.
But what happens, so is it whenever he loses his hair that he actually starts to...
No. Like that. This is always the thing.
This is going to be. You're right about Eisenberg, but we have seen him play narcissistic roles before. I mean, I'm just going back to The Social Network.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where,
And he does it very well.
You know,
Yes.
he does it. You know, I think there's one scene in every single movie that makes a movie,
Mhm.
and the scene where he's sitting in the deposition, and one of the lawyers
Yes.
asks him a question, and he says, "Well, it started to rain outside." He's like, "Excuse me?" He's like, "It started to rain." He's like, "You know, did you understand the question?" He's like, "Yes." He's like, "Well, do I have your attention?" He says, "Well, I have to be honest and, you know, not perjure myself, so I have to say no." He says, "No." He's like, "No, my attention is focused back to Facebook where you, and especially anybody in your colleagues, especially your clients, are doing something that nobody else will do. You know, now if they want to sit on my shoulders and say, you know, pretend that they're tall, they have a right to do that.
Yeah.
But does that answer your condescending question? So, I mean, the fact is that
Yeah.
he has that narcissistic,
Yeah.
you know, and so I think we're going to see the transformation of Lex Luthor from the zany guy that you see at this party to where, you know, you see him at the rooftop and, you know, Superman's on one knee basically at his mercy, like, okay. I mean, and there's one frame in one trailer that you completely see him with his head shaved.
Yes.
And that is
Exactly,
the
yeah.
oh no moment. And it's like, it almost reminds me of the final shot of the new X-Men trailer. With,
Yes.
you know,
Where it was
Xavier
almost
sitting in the
extreme.
wheelchair and the door opens
Yeah.
and he's got the head completely shaved. He's like, okay, now he's really Charles Xavier.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the thing. I think it's really like,
I,
okay, this is
really
Lex
fast with
Luthor.
that. It's still depressing that it's not Patrick Stewart. You
I
know,
know.
like
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart. Like
I know.
I still love his little anecdote where it's like they showed like he never heard of X-Men, never seen Charles
Yeah.
Xavier, so they handed him a comic book of X-Men, and he's like, "Who the hell put me in a comic book?"
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, okay. You know, there's just certain people, like you were saying with Henry Cavill looking like Superman, who are their characters. Patrick Stewart being Charles Xavier, that's the thing. Robert Downey Jr.
being
is
Iron
Tony
Man.
Stark.
Yeah.
You know, like, if Benedict Cumberbatch was probably 30 years older, he could probably be Doctor Strange.
Well,
he looks very like it.
Speaking of Doctor Strange, about a month ago, I was just going through some stuff, and I was on Periscope, and I follow these people on Periscope, and one of the followers had a little scene of Doctor Strange being filmed in
Right.
London.
Mhm.
And so I clicked on it, and of course Periscope, for anybody who has the app, knows that it's live feed at the time, and you can type in whatever else. And anyways, Cumberbatch was down there, and there was a scene in which he and his co-star were investigating.
Is this a
but-
spoiler alert?
No. But it was just basically like it was the movie was being shot right on this street, and this businessman who basically, I don't know if he does taxes or whatever, was in London, and he was filming this, and it was like, wow, this is pretty cool. I mean, this is like a real production going on about Doctor Strange.
I saw that video.
Yeah.
You know,
it was 20 minutes long, actually.
Yeah, so it was just like how they set it up and how he comes in, and I think they did like 3 or 4 different takes, but it was fascinating.
Yeah.
But Doctor Strange that's going to be a fun movie.
That's besides Gambit later this year, it's the movie that I'm looking forward to most.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see how Channing Tatum does Gambit.
Yeah,
So.
I think everybody, more than anything else, I think everybody's looking forward toward Suicide Squad.
Oh,
in
yeah.
August.
Oh.
That is
The more I see of it, the less I'm impressed.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because okay, let me rephrase. The less I'm impressed with the characters that people care the most about. Like, Katana looked really good. Reptile looks really good. El Diablo looks really good. Captain Boomerang looks really good. So, like, a lot of these characters are Deadshot. Like, I love Will Smith looking. He looks like Floyd Lawton. But, like, Harley Quinn, hate it.
Yeah.
She doesn't look
Joker,
like
I'm on the
herself,
fence about. Enchantress looks terrible.
Yeah.
You know, like, all of these characters that, like, I know from the comic books, like, I know them and they're good for certain reasons.
Yeah.
But, like, when you have Harley Quinn, who is legitimate, like, she's smarter than Batman.
Yeah.
Like, the original Harley Quinn only falls in love with the Joker because she starts to understand him.
Yeah.
Batman doesn't understand the Joker, Harley Quinn does.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't like that she seems very flippant, she seems very, you know, like, all that.
Well, maybe they'll like, surprise us whenever the movie comes out, hopefully.
I don't think it is, because, like, I think it just comes down to directors nowadays are trying. There are directors like Zack Snyder who understands comic books, Josh Whedon who's written comic books, who understand them and really can appreciate them. And then I think there's directors that know about comics and kind of know about it from the outside, but are trying to capitalize on it. So they take what they know about the characters rather than going to the source material. You know,
I see, but that would change her whole character completely, though. Because what she is a smart woman, but she started off as like a psychologist.
Yes, she was Harley Quinn's psychologist. In the newest take on the comic books, she's a prison psychologist who ends up joining the prison in order to try and get to know her inmates more. And it seems like that's more the direction that she's going, but she's still very airheaded in that version. Where in the original version from the Batman animated series, she was a very accomplished psychologist who they were like, you can have your pick of any person here. She picks the Joker, and she starts really diving in and breaking his walls down, and then falls in love with him because she's starting to get to the core of the Joker.
And I think that's a good segue into the other DC movies about what we're going to be expecting this year. I mean, we've got Suicide Squad coming out.
Suicide Squad's the only DC movie.
But I mean,
in 2017 we have Wonder Woman.
We've got 2017 we have Wonder Woman. I mean, let's face it. If this movie busts, which everybody, I mean, it's mixed reviews at this point.
Yeah, it's got to do well.
That it's going to do well, but I think it's going to do well and make its money back and whatever else. Like, how
does it make enough money to kickstart DC?
Exactly, and that's going to be the $64,000 question, because they've put in, I mean, it's reported upwards of 400, but let's say it's 300 and cut the difference. $300 million
is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. You've got Aquaman, you've got Wonder Woman, you're probably going to be doing another Batman. Now you're talking about almost $1 billion of money going into these movies, and let's face it, we just came off of Batman 3 years ago. Yeah. And it's like, another one?
Yeah.
I think it's longer now.
It was 3 or 4 years. Yeah. Dark Knight Rises, I think, was in 12. But it's just one of those things where I think people are getting tired. I mean, I'll be honest, I would have rather have seen a Robin movie. I hate to say, the way Dark Knight Rises,
I would have loved to see.
That's where it was
I would
leading.
have loved to have seen Gordon-Levitt, reprise his role. I mean, we see it at the end of the Rises. The whole thing, even if they would have done that, I think that would have been great. And I think instead of another Batman movie, they should have been focusing on Robin. And if they had focused on Robin, well, that would have just sent shockwaves through the
I think the main
but he's
thing
not
is
big
that,
enough.
Well,
that's the problem.
But the problem is that they can't add other superheroes to the universe that they added there because there's too much realism in that universe. So you can't have like the.
No, and I understand because that Chris Nolan's Batman universe or reality was so dark and so like, oh my god.
So here's my hope for if this movie busts, that they rethink their strategy and understanding what the Justice League is, and start taking a page from Marvel and start integrating their TV shows. Because right now the most successful thing for DC is their TV shows, and they're adding another Flash, and it's Barry Allen. It's not even Wally West.
Yeah.
Like they're having another Barry Allen. So people who are watching Flash are gonna be like, but that's not Grant Gustin.
Yeah.
You know, why is this other person playing Flash?
Yeah.
You know, and you already have these characters. You have Supergirl already. Yeah. You have Green Arrow. He's part of the Justice League. Yeah. You know, Flash is part of the Justice League. So, and you can start integrating the other characters into the shows and making them bigger. That's what's like. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is still pretty good. Yeah. Jessica Jones and Daredevil are amazing.
Daredevil. Yeah, go for it.
We were just talking about this before we walked in here. Marvel, I think they do such a good job integrating their characters in their shows, in their movies, and it's the same characters, minus, you know, Hulk. Let's just leave that where it is.
It's technically the only one that is still canon. That's a different character. It was the Edward Norton one.
Yeah.
So like.
Yeah. But take that one out.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's fluidity. It's not like it's like learning. Okay, that's who that is, and then seeing them in the next show and being like, "Hey, I remember him. I don't watch Agent Carter, but I'm watching the show the other day without even the sound on, and I go, oh my gosh, that's Stark. That's Stark's dad. He's in the show, and it's the same character who is in Captain America, who's in all of these shows. So it's just like, you know, the connection in your brain where you click, and you're like, oh my god, look, he's in this one.
It makes it easier to like characters more because, you know, and I think what Steven Spielberg had said that the comic book movies are going to go the way of the Western, and I actually think he's wrong to an extent because comic book movies have a lot more staying power.
DC's might.
DC's might. DC's definitely might, but Marvel's definitely not. You know, we have movies planned till 2021 right now, and they're all like, we're starting to get rid of the original Avengers. You know, we're no longer seeing we're not getting an Iron Man 4. You know, this is going to be the last Captain America movie, and I'm 90% sure Steve Rogers dies in this movie.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert! Steve Rogers might die. We might get Bucky Barnes to play Captain America or Falcon, both of which have played Captain America in the comics. Yeah. But like, we're getting a Spider-Man movie. You know, I would love to see Marvel regain the rights of the Fantastic Four, so we can get them, the Marvel's first family, back into the good into good graces. Yes. Because I'm pretty sure we've all already forgot the travesty of last year.
Yes.
And the movies that we're getting to get a Black Panther. You know, no one knows Black Panther outside of Marvel.
We've got Guardians of the Galaxy coming up in a few years.
Yeah, we have Captain Marvel.
So
we have Inhumans. No, literally no one knows Inhumans.
Yeah.
Like, I'm probably the only one in this room that knows Inhumans.
You're probably right about that.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things where, in Marvel, and this is another reason why I think that Marvel is doing so well, is because they're already projecting, because we're getting Infinity War in 2018, 2020, and it's like, okay, everybody knows this now, and so they're waiting for it. They're waiting for this one. I mean, that's why they have to break it up into 2 movies. Let's face it, because it's so big.
Well, actually, I actually don't think that's the reason why they're doing that. I actually think they're doing it so that
to make more money.
No. I actually don't think that. I think it's because there's a story that they want to tell, and the Infinity War that they're going to be doing. It is a larger overarching thing. But it's something that affects the Marvel universe so profoundly.
Well, and this is why not to cut you off. I read that there are going to be 67 characters.
Yes.
In this set of movies.
Yes.
So,
but not all of them being like
exactly. So I mean, you have the whole universe.
And funny enough, I actually want DC to do that because right now they have their TV universe and their movie universe. Yeah. And one of the things I was hoping that they'd do is that the movie universe move into I almost said League of Legends, Justice League.
Yeah.
And then have Justice League be Crisis of Infinite Earths.
Yeah.
And then collapse all the universes back into one. And because Crisis of Infinite Earths is one of the most famous DC comics. And then from there and to Justice League 2, get Blackest Night, which
Yeah.
is the other big arc. Because then, and it involves way more heroes. Like, it involved pretty much every DC superhero.
Yeah.
And it was a Green Lantern story, and we're not getting Green Lantern movies until much later in the DC cycle.
Yeah.
So it's something that I thought they should do. It brings more people in. You can split into 2 parts, Blackest Night and Brightest Day, and have a better overarching plot.
And,
you know?
And so it'll be very fascinating to see how DC, basically, I mean, look, they just need to take some lessons from Marvel.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it basically comes down to. If they don't do that...
Really fast, moving back into our topic of villains.
Yeah.
So, say this movie, Batman vs. Superman, doesn't flop, alright?
Yeah.
Gets greenlit, we go to Justice League. Who would you like to see the villain as?
Oh, God.
Oh, I was
Aaron's prepared!
I was only wondering, I just wanted one person to be part of it, and it was Maxwell Lord, the fourth. And that was because he was the one who kind of helped to create the Justice League in the first place. Yeah. But for him to be a part of it, he was a major player in the Wonder Woman series.
I don't know if they'll do that because Maxwell Lord is currently part of the Supergirl TV show.
Oh.
Well,
I figured that if
she was going to be around, who knows? Supergirl does go off the air in the next couple of years.
I don't know. It's been doing
great right now. But we'll see if what your prediction is, if they don't actually just take it and run with it. So,
any idea?
I have no idea.
David?
I have no clue.
What about Ares? What about Ares?
No, I want to see Brainiac.
That would be fun.
Brainiac, or I know it's done in Flash right now, or Brainiac / Gorilla Grodd. These are characters that like people know about, kind of, but they're not as well seen. They're not as widely viewed.
Yeah.
And I think they provide a very good challenge for the Justice League that we're gonna get.
Okay, so I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap it up there. What we're gonna do is next week. Well, next week's the big week. Next week is the.
Let's talk about something else then.
Yeah. I know. We've been doing this for a full month. Let's just go talk about Marvel.
Now that it's over,
let's talk about Star Wars 8 set photos.
Yeah, exactly. So what we'll do is next week is the big week, and the plan is I am going to go see it the 24th. Hopefully, we get others too, or get their ticket to go see it soon.
Yes.
Depending on who does that, we will do a Friday podcast. We'll do a Wednesday one, and we're also going to do a Friday one. But that's going to have spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, don't listen. And so...
We'll post it
last we'll mention, because I've been giving comic recommendations.
Yes.
So, one for Batman, one for Superman.
Yep.
If you guys want to... any idea of, like, good Superman or Batman villains, Death of Superman, obviously it has Apocalypse in it. Or Doomsday, not Apocalypse. Has Doomsday in it. Very good comic. Really showcases how dangerous Doomsday is. Blackest Night, you get to see the Anti-Monitor. It's very good because it has a lot of the superheroes become villains. Suicide Squad is still ongoing, as well as the Harley Quinn comic. Are some of the better comic books going on right now in the New 52. So
cool. All right, then. And I said I would post last week's comics on there, and I didn't. So I know. I've been so busy that it's just been I never got a chance to, but. You can definitely Google all of those comics from...
some of them are available on Google Play.
Yeah, so... Okie dokie, we will call it a show there, and we will see you next week. Thanks, guys.
Bye, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.